So we're just going to run through costing today. So the sort of, I suppose, outline of this is we're going to run through the plan, so just what the main sort of outcomes, and we'll just take it slide by slide. So we'll get stuck in straight away. So the plan here is we're going to first learn about management versus financial accounting. So you might already be familiar with this if you're already working in the accounting profession, but we'll have a look at this in greater depth. The next area that we're going to look at are costing definitions and cost classifications. After that, we'll be looking at cost behaviors. So that's your fixed costs, variable costs. We'll be looking at those in greater detail. And costing in different organization types. So I suppose costing is used a lot in manufacturing, but it's also used in different types of industries, service industries, construction, where job costing is used. We'll be looking at that in closer detail. And then we'll also be looking at costing transformation. So this is all about cost optimization, looking at the different frameworks for optimizing costs. Okay, so we'll get stuck in. Management accounting versus financial accounting. So like I said in the last slide, some of you might already be familiar with the differences between financial and management accounting if you are already working in the accounting profession. But just to give you a very simple and brief overview, financial accounting is more so concerned with putting together your statutory reports that are required for external use. So when we say external use, we mean parties like auditors, government authorities, tax authorities. If you're in the UK, that could be the HMRC. And it's concerned with using mostly past financial information. So some of the other factors in financial accounting is that it's producing statutory reports. So when we say statutory reports, we mean reports that are required by law. So a report that might be required by law in depending on the jurisdiction that you live in, but like a tax return that's required each year is an example, or your statement of profit or loss if you're in the UK. These are all reports that a financial accountant would be putting together. It's governed by rules and regulations. So the rules in this case could be the IFRS standards that are applied to certain jurisdictions. There's also GAAP, which is mostly used in the United States. These are sort of frameworks that institutions use to put their accounts together within a regulatory framework. Financial accounting is mostly concerned with putting together, and this relates back to statutory reporting, mandatory reports, so reports that we have to produce either by law or for shareholders or different authorities. And finally, it's mostly based on financial information. So financial accounting, the clue is in the name. It's mostly concerned with just finance. There's no non-financial information pretty much used in the financial accounting sort of world. Now, this is quite different to management accounting, which at its simplest form is very much concerned with reporting in such a way that helps management to make decisions. So reports are for internal use, and you can see on the slide the example there are directors. So we're producing reports for directors to help them plan and control and make good decisions. It's very much focused on both past and future information. So an example of a management accounting report would be a budget. So a budget is forward facing. So it looks into the future. We're projecting out and we're seeing how is the business going to do in maybe 1 to 5 years time. So it's looking at future information as well as past. In management accounting, the reports that are produced in the management accounting world are very much used to aid decision making. So helping management make good decisions, and those types of decisions might be pricing decisions or how many units to produce, what types of units to produce, all those kind of decisions. Management accounting really helps to drive and optimize. It's not governed by rules or regulations, so it's very much ad hoc. It can vary. Management accounting reports can vary between different organizations. It's not governed by IFRS or GAAP. There is no standard authority that oversees management accounting. It's non-mandatory, so that ties into that point above, and it's a mix of financial and non-financial information. So it's not just limited to financial information. There's lots of different pieces of non-financial information, and so an example of that might be stuff like customer complaints or machine hours, lots of different things that might necessarily be financial information. These would be very much in the management accounting sort of world. So that's the comparison between the two. Now we're just going to look at a example of a question. So this is a question that you might see something here where it would point to either being a financial or a management accounting remit type scenario. So I'm just going to run through the example. So Leon works in the finance department of Paris PLC. His job involves preparing budgets for the human resources, information technology and procurement departments. He's also responsible for putting together weekly sales reports which show how Paris PLC is performing in each of the 24 regions the company operates in. Leon is sometimes required to put together monthly financial reports that show how actual expenditure is comparing against budgeted expenditure. Is Leon working within a financial or management accounting remit? So look at the question, and there's some clues there, and they're sort of highlighted already for you. But if we just break the question up into smaller pieces. So Leon works in the finance department, so that's fine. His job involves preparing budgets. So you might remember in the last slide I discussed a budget is very much a management accounting type of report. And the reason for that is a budget looks into the future, and it's not necessarily based on just financial information. These are two sort of criteria that would suggest that Leon's working in the management accounting remit rather than the financial accounting remit. If we look as well in the question, Leon is responsible for putting together weekly sales reports. So sales reports, these seem like they're ad hoc reports just for Paris PLC. They're not necessarily statutory reports that Paris PLC have to produce for their shareholders or a government authority. They're ad hoc reports, and the question suggests that the sales reports, they show how Paris PLC is performing. So that's going to help management make decisions about what sort of products and maybe where they want to expand or invest money in. So these reports that Leon has put together, they're helping management to make decisions. So again, another clue that suggests that this is a management accounting remit that Leon is working in. And finally, the monthly financial reports that Leon is putting together show how actual expenditure is comparing against budgeted expenditure. And this type of reporting is known as variance analysis, and it's very much something that we would associate with management accounting. And the reason for that is that variance analysis is a way of controlling costs and looking at optimizing costs in certain areas, controlling the amount of expenditure that the company is having each period. Very much a management accounting type of report. It's informing management on how to make better decisions. So it'd be fair to say that Leon is working in the management accounting remit, and we went over some of the reasons, but in essence Leon is working on reports that inform the internal management of Paris PLC. He's not tasked with putting together a monthly profit and loss statement for the local tax authority that Paris PLC reports into. He's not putting together any sort of mandatory reports. He's very much focused on informing management on making better decisions. So we'll move on now to three main sections or components of the management accounting function. So the first sort of section that we're going to run through is planning. So planning is all about setting the objectives of the organization. And when we say objectives, we're talking about what the company aspires to do. And those objectives can be broken up into 3 different levels or 3 different tiers. And if you can imagine a hierarchy, at the very top of the planning sort of section within management accounting, there's strategic planning. So strategic planning is the highest level of planning in an organization. It's normally done by the board of directors or the senior leadership team in the organization. So strategic planning is all about planning for large decisions that have a large impact on the business. And oftentimes strategic planning is concerned with ambiguous decisions, or another way to phrase that might be decisions where there's a lot of unknowns, a lot of unknown quantities. So an example of that would be a company looking to expand into a new region. Say it's a retailer and they're looking to expand into a brand new region. They might not have the experience or all the information required to make that decision, and this would sort of be a strategic planning decision. And underneath your strategic planning, you would have tactical planning. So tactical planning is done by department managers, and it's very much focused on supporting the strategic plan. So say that same retailer that's looking to expand into a new region, tactical planning might be concerned with planning the logistics of how to get all the products into this new region. So it's supporting the plan that the higher senior sort of management team have put together. And in your tactical planning, it might be done by a department manager or a business controller, depending on the type of organization. Then underneath tactical planning, at the lowest level of the sort of planning hierarchy, is operational planning. And this is very much day-to-day focused. It's very much based on the day-to-day actions that support the tactical plan, which supports the strategic plan. So it's very much a pyramid, with strategic sitting on the top, tactical sitting in the middle, and operational at the very bottom. And your day-to-day tasks, using the same example, might be something like rostering to ensure that the expansion into the new region is successful. So rostering is where we place employees at different shifts during the day. That would be an example of a day-to-day task that supports the tactical planning measures that have been drafted by the middle level tier of management. So the next component of management accounting is control. And control is all about controlling costs and making sure that costs are within plans. So at the start of a year, an organization might draft a budget, and the budget has a goal at the end of it. So a budget might include a 2% increase in revenue, and the budget sets out how that organization is going to achieve that goal. So within the controlled remit of management accounting, we're making sure that that goal is achieved. Normally companies do this by setting a budget and looking at results each period and evaluating performance versus that budget. And that goes back to that example that we just ran through with Leon, where he's looking every period at how is actual expenditure or actual sales achieving versus budget. So each period, a management accountant is very much focused on looking at the performance and evaluating versus a budget. And that also helps identify inefficiencies. So if we see that there's constant overspends in certain areas, that's going to really help the company understand where they're inefficient, where they're perhaps not performing as expected. And that's going to drive that goal at the end of the year, that 2% revenue increase is only going to be made possible by constantly evaluating performance and rectifying any inefficiencies. So the final component of management accounting is decision making, and that's very much focused on supporting the decision making of business managers and the overall business itself. So management accounting is focused on producing information that helps management decide things like what price to charge, how many units to produce, what types of units to produce. These are all sort of decisions that a management accountant would help the business make. So again, these 3 points underneath decision making just reiterate that.